Bill Gates is the largest private owner of farmland in the US with roughly 250,000 acres. To put this into perspective, it's a lot bigger than a Ford F-150, bigger than a dump truck, and slightly bigger than the New York City. And on these 270 or whatever thousand acres, Gates grows, for example, the potatoes for the healthy McDonald's French fries. I bet you won't be ordering them anytime soon, will you? Poor Uber Eats. Anyways, that's all old news. What's more interesting is that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation recently funded a grocery delivery startup called Picnic with about $500 million. And if somebody owns the very dirt that the produce grows in, and also the retailer from which you then buy the food, you know what this means. But there are also a few side effects. Since Bill Gates and other institutional investors, not only him, are buying so much farmland and are willing to pay the top dollar cause they have it, they massively inflate the price. And this leads to new, real farmers not being able to buy any land cause it's expensive. So they usually just rent it from Bill Gates or whoever, and that's not really an advantageous position to be in. If we look at it closer, an acre of farmland was about $1,500 back in the 1970s, adjusted for inflation, and now it averages some $3,800. And there is more, because allegedly the elite wants to have an even greater control over the global food supply. So apart from companies like Monsanto or John Deere, which already have fairly questionable practices, there are ones that wanna analyze, digitalize and control all the data points on a given farm. This can of course lead to increased yields and less labor for the farmer, as everything will be automized, but when your cloud-connected all-electric tractor or spraying drone decides it doesn't want to work today, you can't do nothing. Now, this is a lot. And if you suddenly don't want to eat conventional produce anymore because, I don't know, the last few sentences I said, you're quite lucky, as at the end of this video I'll be revealing a few tips on how to escape the clutches of Big Ag. On the other side of this ag problem though are the health-conscious people eating vegan meat alternatives and guzzling oat milk. Which is quite funny, cause they are being fed the highest processed garbage you can imagine, often manufactured by companies that Bill Gates is or was involved with, and they all think that it's super healthy and good for the planet. I've made a video on the whole artificial meat market a few weeks ago, so you can check it out in detail later, but the main reason why plant-based meat is bad is cause it contains all kinds of funny ingredients that your body simply doesn't enjoy. For example, TBHQ, which is used as a stabilizer in food as well as an antioxidant in biodiesel. Yum! But not everything is dark, thank God, really. There is actually an interesting group of people like Luke Belmar, who grew up in Argentina and got successful through e-commerce, or Morgan Gold, who got tired of his office job, and many more people who all come from different chapters of life, but either express interest into honest farming and healthy food, or already bought some land and began acting. And this group is aware of what's generally going on in the world, and more importantly, they are spreading the awareness about it.
I think everybody should kind of implement dietary restrictions. I think dietary restrictions are one of the best things that people can actually do for their health. Why? Because it's a conscientious understanding of how you eat. And I think if people can't control what they put in their mouth, what can you actually control in your life? If you can't control what you eat, what can you actually control, brother? Nothing.
And overall, I see honest farming getting more recognition and praise even on the internet, which is only supported by the fact that you are now watching my video. But I would like to dive a bit deeper into the Bill Gates having another monopoly controversy. Luckily, or maybe not, depends on where you live, the grocery app that Bill Gates invested in, Picnic, is based in the Netherlands and expanded into Germany Germany and France, so it most likely sells moderately local produce instead of importing it from Bill Gates' farms. Then there are some other theories, like he's altering the DNA of the crops to poison people or stuff, or that he wants to rule the whole US agriculture. But even though he is the largest private farmland owner, he only has 0.0003% of the US farmland, which is insufficient to do almost anything of substance. Plus, and this is a major one, he doesn't farm none of it. He just owns shell companies upon shell companies that own the farmland and lease it out to real farmers. And the decision to buy farms was most likely made by his wealth manager Michael Larson in the first place. So there is actually a high chance that Gates has nothing to do with the farms at all, except that he owns them as an investment. But if you just wanna stay safe from all of it, here are the promised tips. First, and I guess you knew this already, buy local, preferably from a vetted farmers market, as even farmers markets sometimes trick people into buying conventional produce. And if you have the means and will to do so, grow some food yourself. Making it yourself is probably the safest way to obtain your food. And what's cool is that you don't even have to have that much space for it. Matter of fact, I've seen people grow mountains of food in their small front yard, on a balcony, or even in a tiny apartment.
Red Robin tomatoes. This is my favorite to have indoors for cherry tomatoes. You could also do Tiny Tim, and then orange hat tomatoes are another good one. They only get like 6 to 9 inches tall. These are yellow tomatoes. I pulled that from my Click and Grow garden. And then right here is yerba mate. That is for tea making, but I'm still waiting for the plant to get a little bit bigger, so I haven't used it yet. A lot of my plants are in leca, which is expanded clay pebbles, but I like it because it's reusable, bugs don't like it, I can see exactly when I need to water it, and the roots have direct access to nutrients. In here, I have wild strawberries, sweet red peppers, that's lavender, prairie peppers, and purple chili peppers. All of these were pulled from my Click and Grow garden, and I'm about to set this Click and Grow back up just to grow lettuce, but I do have videos on the Smart Garden 9. I also have a Smart Garden 3.
And this brings me to smart plant pots. It's really a game changer when you want to grow something in your home hassle-free. You just take the soil capsule with the seed, plug it in, add water, plug the garden in, and enjoy a successful harvest. Now, I'm not sponsored by Click and Grow in any way, shape or form, and I guess it wouldn't even make sense for them as my channel is still small. But I can only vouch for the Click and Grow Smart Garden, as that's the only one I've tried. And the basil I grew is quite possibly the best basil I've ever had. Unfortunately, I can't show you any footage as I have it back in Germany in my dorm room and I'm in Czechia right now. So this was how you and your family can escape the clutches of Bill Gates and Big Ag. Thanks for watching.